Salutations, and welcome to the Serpent Holder's Tarot. So, the title of this video is why I call myself the Serpent Holder, and there's an additional part to the title, but I can't recall it off the top of my head. It's written down. But that said, I'm not a very scripted person. I do have notes and stuff like that, but I don't script right, so hopefully I just get better at not saying so much, and I will with time. There it goes. It doesn't really bother me too much, but if it bothers you, I get it. The world is full of people who have become excellent, I'll say fluent spokespeople. They can speak without pauses, without I have my moments where that happens, but to the point. So, to know why I call myself the Serpent Holder, you need to know where that title comes from. So, I'm not sure. Okay, I don't want to say I'm not sure. Check. This is so from what I can intuit, you're either hyper intelligent, in which case you're feigning your intelligence, you're acting less knowledgeable than you actually are, or the very unlikely alternative, which is that you don't know what I'm talking about. For the young people, 13 and under, maybe even 18 and under, if you just haven't looked into astrology or anything like that, or Greek history at all, then maybe perhaps you don't know what I'm talking about. But there's going to be an innate, intuitive, intelligent resonance with what I'm saying. You know this because there's a truth that a lot of your media has shown you, and I don't mean social media, but I mean social media, I suppose, but mainly like movies and music. Lord, it's your world, we're just living in it. That's a song. The lyrics and stuff like that. You might feel like you're just living in the world, which is probably why you're very probably money hungry. You probably want, you probably are influenced by a lot of the rappers and just pop culture, modern culture. And I'm not speaking necessarily strictly to just 18 and under. I'm speaking to, if you're over 18, here's the thing. This is the thing about being a part of an intelligent species. There's hyper intelligence, and I'm by no means the oldest. Not necessarily the oldest thing in existence. I'm not, at least this body isn't. My soul might be very old, but I can tell you I'm not a reincarnation. There was a time when I was learning about Hinduism and just coming into my spirituality, like developing my spirituality more. I'm 30 years of age as of right now. You can find that out. You can check out my main Instagram and stuff like that. My birth certificate is on display. But I resonated with central figures. Now, there's a term that started to emerge. I'm sure it's older than when I started to see it on the internet and stuff like that. But there's a term called Christ consciousness and stuff like that. I don't really like that term. It has its merits, but with figures like Alexander the Great, the emperors of Japan, the emperors of China. I kind of skip over Napoleon, Hitler. For those of you who don't know, I'll be posting it and stuff like that. I got a DNA test. I'm partially German. I'm very honored by my German heritage. It means a lot to me. I'm also Hispanic, and as you can tell by the brown skin, I'm various African American tribes or nationalities or whatnot. So black in layman's term. And I'll make a separate video on this, and I don't want to repeat myself and be cheesy. It's not because I am disgruntled at the idea of repeating myself. I don't want to sound cheesy. I don't like that. I'm not big on phrases or sketches or skits and stuff like that. Script, and I don't like to sound rehearsed, but a lot of this is core beliefs, things that are ingrained in me, not memorized. I know them by heart. As a side point, and I'll make a video on this as well, but memorization is horrible. I don't think you should ever try to memorize something, because that's what your brain, it hurts. I don't know about you, but it hurts. It hurts to memorize something. You have to push yourself to actually successfully memorize something, and that's just not good. Your brain, as far as I know, is not a muscle. It's not meant to be stretched like that, like the neurons, synapses. It's just not supposed to do that. It doesn't. You will be successful. You can, but it kills you. You can just tell by doing it. It kills you. It deteriorates your mental. You might have a lot of information, but a lot of that information is useless, because things will change. It's not so much that you won't use the information and stuff like that while it's there, but things will change, become obsolete. If you run out of time, meaning your life expectancy, I like to call it the death expectancy, because you're not expecting more life, you're expecting death. You're going to die around 75 years old, 75 years of age. I also don't like to say 75 years old. In most circumstances, I like to say years of age. But at 75 years of age is when you will die. You can expect to die around that time. So I call it a death expectancy, not a life expectancy. Pardon the pause. Just collecting myself. Well, here's the thing. It sucks that I lost my train of thought. It's all connected. There's a lot of interconnecting points. But what I'm getting at is that there's something called the one world order. And before, I'll say before that, but there's always been the concept of the one. And, not to use pop culture referencing Neo from the Matrix or anything like that, Adam was the one. Not Lucifer, not Michael, not even Jesus Christ. Adam was the one. Where I'm here obviously because of choices made before me, because of Adam's choice to eat from the fruit with Eve. Jesus came, and before that, Jesus came, and Jesus is here because of what Noah did and stuff like that. But they all follow the line, and we're all here because of me. Now, while free will does exist, choices were made. Now I'm big on love. Affection. Love, the definition of love according to Oxford language is a deep, not verbatim. This is almost verbatim, but it's a deep, intense feeling of affection. That's what love is defined as.